Hello?
Teacher, we cannot hear you. There is something wrong. I hope she came back.
Hello, Anna, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. But she
Guys,
seems...
can you hear me?
Yes, Ksenia, can you hear me?
Hello.
It seems that... Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah, I can hear
Hello.
you.
Hello. It,
Guys,
it, I can hear you well, I just cannot hear the teacher.
Um, can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
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 Yes.
Yay! All right. Great. Thank you. Okay. Sorry, before I say hello to everybody, I'm just going to reintroduce the class in case people are watching this on YouTube and they have no idea what we're doing. So just welcome everybody to this Bubbling class. My name is Teacher Amy. We just had a little issue with the microphone, but of life isn't fair. Do you think life is fair? And should it be fair? So we're going to be talking about that with the help of a kind of interesting blog post today. Before we get started though, I'm just going to let you know about a couple of pages that might help you out here on Verbling. If you are new to Verbling, don't forget to check out the teacher Facebook pages and also the Verbling teacher pages. I'm posting both of those links into the chat box. Hopefully they'll come up. I can see that at least the Verbling teacher page has come up. So you'll find all the information that you might need about a particular teacher on their Verbling teacher page, including their welcome videos, their class videos, their schedule for both classes and tutoring slots, as well as a bit of information about who they are. If there is anything else that you find you don't know or you still want to find out from a teacher, you are very welcome to write a message to us. You can use the messaging feature which is available on Verbling, also from the Verbling Teach page. So, let's have a think about this topic, life isn't fair. I'm just going to ask you one very simple question while I say hello. Do you think life is fair or not? And then we're going to go in depth with this topic a little bit more as we go through the class. So first of all, let's say hello to Anna. How are you today, Anna?
Hi, teacher. I'm doing well. Can you hear me okay?
Yep, I can hear you perfectly.
Thank you. Thank God. No, life is not fair. We tend to believe and we tend to say all the time, oh, it's not fair. But why it's supposed to be, you know?
Yeah, why is it supposed to be fair? Why do we think that we're missing out on fairness when it's never been there in the first place? Good question, Anna. All right, thank you and welcome to the class. Lovely to have you. Jose, hello.
Hello, Amy.
How are you today?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. And you?
Brilliant, thank you. What do you think, Jose? Is life fair?
No, I think that life isn't fair. Sometimes it's very hard.
It's very hard.
Yes, it's very hard
Do you ever find
because
yourself...
because because we
Mhm.
have some obstacles in the life.
Yep, we definitely have obstacles. That is true. All right, so Jose and Anna both think so far it's not fair. Let's say hello to Mustafa. Hello, Mustafa. How are you?
Hello, teacher Abdul. Thank you for asking. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. What do you think, Mustafa?
Teacher, I am joining my friend, and I think the life is not fair and hasn't been fair.
Do you have a particular reason, or do you think just in general, stuff happens and it doesn't seem very fair?
We cannot have like the perfect life as we imagined, but we can like struggle and fight about having like the life we want. Each one of us like has some struggles and some obstacles in his space, and he has like to go on this life as. So don't like imagine like you won't face like any problem in your life. You will face a problem. You will face a lot of struggles. This is the life. This is the real life. Don't trick
This
yourself.
is life. All right, so
Yeah.
we don't need to use an article because we're talking about life as a kind of a concept, which is why we say life isn't fair rather than the life isn't fair, okay? But very
Okay.
good point, Mustafa. Very insightful. Thank you for sharing. Okay, Ksenia, good morning.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
Have you made any progress on the bicycle path, Ksenia?
Now we have a strong wind, so it's very difficult to ride
Oh, it's
bicycle.
not a good day for riding today.
Yes.
Fair enough. So what do you think, Ksenia? Is life fair or not?
I think life is fair enough because
Okay.
something we have and something we don't have, and the other person have that you want to have, and this person don't have that you already had. So I think it's fair enough.
That's like a tongue twister, Ksenia, but very well explained. So you just need to add in another word there. They have things you don't have, or you have something or things they have or don't have. Okay?
Yes.
Thank you, Ksenia. So Ksenia thinks that life is fair enough. I quite like that. I'm going to type that into the chat box. Is it fair enough? We actually say that as a phrase in English. Well, that's fair enough. If you kind of are accepting something that you think is reasonable, you can say it's fair enough. Thank you, Ksenia. Who else do we have here? Philip. Hello, Philip.
Hi.
Nice to. Have I met you before, Philip? I don't think so.
It's the first time I have
All
a
right.
class. Yes.
Lovely to meet you in that case. Where are you from?
I'm from Canada, Montreal,
Oh,
a,
awesome.
a suburb of Montreal called Laval.
Okay. Well, I was actually talking about Canada to one of my students yesterday, and his sister had just moved to Quebec. So, how's the weather over there? Is it getting hot yet?
Oh, it's mild. It's just mild now.
Okay.
But it's
Wonderful.
getting hot and hot, yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
All right. Well, Philip, what do you think about our topic for today? Do you think that life is fair or unfair or fair enough?
Definitely it's unfair because you can endeavor, but you don't have the result. You can do too much effort, you can work hard, but you are not paid according to the effort you put on your work.
Mhm. Good point. So you're not guaranteed a result even if you work really hard.
Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you very much, Philip. That's a really specific, well-explained reason. Thanks. All
Thank
right,
you
so
too.
welcome to the class. Lovely to meet you. Also, we have Chi. I'm not sure if that's how you say it. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hi, Chi. Nice to meet you.
You too.
Where are you from?
I come from China, but I'm living in New York State now.
Okay, awesome. Well, what do you think about our topic for today?
I think life is not fair because somebody can was born with the silver spoon
Mm-hmm.
in their mouth,
Yep.
and some place have a natural disaster,
True.
and some place are very poverty. We
Yep.
can choose what family we born,
Yep.
and in the work maybe whatever how hard we work, and maybe we can't successful because we lack of some relationships.
Mm.
So I think it's not fair.
All right, thank you, Chi. That was a great little kind of a summary of some of the reasons. So you agree with Philip about the working, but you also mentioned other important things, like some things that seem to be random, like where we're born or what happens in the place we live that we have no control over.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Chi. Excellent. So we have one last person to say hello to. It's Ken. Hello, Ken.
Yes, hello. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. How are you doing?
Yes, I'm fine, thank you.
Have you been to any more concerts lately?
Not really.
Not lately? Oh,
Yeah.
no one famous has been to come and play in Japan?
Last concert I went, Bob Dylan's concert.
Okay,
Last
was it
year.
good?
Yeah, it good, but he completely changed the melody and
Oh,
arrangement, so audience cannot sing along with him.
oh, I see.
Yeah.
Maybe he got bored of his old arrangement, Ken, because he's played a song so many
Probably,
times.
yeah. He always kind of that's such guy. Yeah, he always do the show in a new arrangements. And
Yeah.
now this time his music is not rock anymore. It's
Okay.
more like jazz or blues.
Oh, wow. All right, so he's changed a little bit. Was it still enjoyable for you?
Yes, because his existence is, real Bob Dylan.
His
It was
existence is the important thing.
Yeah, because such kind of he's a kind of such artist. Artist has some charismatic
True.
presence.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right, well, welcome everybody, and thanks, Ken, for that. Oh, I forgot to ask you, Ken, what do you think about, is life fair or unfair?
I think life is not fair actually because our starting point is different. Actual condition is different, or economical condition or place where we live or what connection we can get, or a lot of things is not equal, and that's a lie. So maybe we tend to focus on what we don't have.
Yep.
But we have maybe we have something. Maybe focus on what we have is maybe I think it's a knack of being happy, in my opinion.
Thank you, Ken. So focusing on what we do have and not what's unfair, but what we're lucky to experience is the best way to be happy. All right, very insightful. Well, thank you for all of your beginning of the class ideas. I had a feeling that most people in the class would say, I think life is reasonably unfair. It seems to be the general consensus of humans. However, this article is a little bit challenging because the author is actually presenting another viewpoint. So it's quite a fun one. I'm going to give you the link in the chat box. So if you do want to load it up yourself, go ahead now. And we're going to read it in sections so that we can discuss what the author's writing about and whether we agree or disagree. So just a second while I load this up. This article, which says, well, the title basically gives you the idea straight away of what this author is going to talk about. So I'm going to start the other end this time, and with Ken. Ken, could you read the title for us and this little line under here?
Okay. The problem isn't that life is unfair. It's your broken idea of fairness. Unless you're winning, most of life will seem hideously unfair to you.
All right, so interesting idea straight away. Anyone have any questions firstly?
What's the meaning of unless you're winning?
Good question. Does anyone want to try and explain that? Unless you're winning.
Yes. Unless you are in a very good situation, you are achieving your goals, you have what you want to.
Yep. That's absolutely right, Anna. So it's not winning a competition as such, Ken. It's more like just winning in the sense that you're doing well, really. So great explanation, Anna. Well done. Okay, we're going to scroll down, and there's these fun cartoons all the way through. So, Anna, could you read out what the woman in this cartoon says? And I'll get Mustafa to read out the man. The man first, Mustafa.
Okay. If life was fair, I'd have I hear an echo. If life was fair, I'd have everything because I work so hard.
If life was fair, I'd have everything because I'm such a good person.
Thank you, guys. All right, so in a way, this is kind of what we've been already saying. Yeah, we didn't mention the idea of being a good person, but I think that is something we've probably all thought about. And this is what you were saying, Mustafa. This guy agrees with you. He thinks that if you work hard, then you should receive results, but actually, it's not true, really, is it? So, let's read a little bit more and see what happens. Ken, could you just carry on reading this part here for us?
Okay, the truth is, life is just playing by different rules. The real rules are there. They actually make sense, but they're a bit more complicated and a lot less comfortable, which is why most people never manage to learn them.
You forgot this one, Ken.
Oh, sorry. Let's try.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm not saying that we're going to try to learn these rules. What I actually want you to do is to, as people are reading, just see what you think. Do you actually agree that these are the rules of life? And if not, why not? Okay, so thank you. Anna, your turn. Rule number 1.
All right. Rule number 1. Life is a competition. That business you work for, someone's trying to kill it. That job you like, someone would love to replace you with a computer program. That boyfriend, high-paying job, Nobel Prize that you want, so does somebody else.
Thank you, Anna. Ksenia, could you read out the cartoon of the teacher?
Now remember, kids, life isn't a competition. I mean, apart from the grades, jobs, partners, wealth, and status.
Thank you, Ksenia. Okay, Jose, we'll carry on reading. We're all in competition.
Yes. We have to read?
Yes, please.
I have to read?
Yes.
Yes. Now I see. We are all in competition, although we prefer not to release it. Most achievements are only notable relative to others. You swam more miles or can dance better, or got more Facebook likes than the average. Well done.
Keep going.
Okay. It's a painful thing to believe, of course, which is why we're constantly assuring each other the opposite. Just do your best. We're here. You are only in competition with yourself. The funny thing about platitudes like that is they're designed to make you try harder anyway. If competition really didn't matter, we'd tell struggling children to just give up.
Thank you. All right, so what we're going to do is I just want to check that everybody's following everything. So I'm going to scroll back up to the first paragraph and the quote. Firstly, are there any questions about the first paragraph or the quote? No? Okay. Are there any questions about what Jose just read in these 2 paragraphs? Everyone following okay? Okay. In that case, we're going to carry on reading a little bit more, just to the end of rule number 1. So, Ksenia, could you read from Fortunately?
Fortunately, we don't live in a world where everyone has to kill each other to prosper. The blessing of modern civilization is there is abundant opportunities. and enough for us all to get by, even if we don't compete directly.
Keep going.
But never fall for the collective delusion that there's not a competition going on. People dress up to win partners. They interview to win jobs. If you deny that competition exists, you're just losing. Everything in demand is on a competitive scale, and the best is only available to those who are willing to truly fight for it.
Well done, Ksenia. Lovely reading. Thanks also to Jose and Anna. Okay, so I'm going to ask Chi, what do you think this rule number 1 is all about? What's it basically saying?
They're just saying the life is a competition, and maybe we think we work hard, but there is other people maybe work harder than us, and we are cut out for competition. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's all about interpretation, yes, but you've got the basic point, and I think the basic point is summarized in the title. But she gives a lot of examples as well. When you were listening to this being read, what was your opinion? Philip, what do you think? Is this true? Does it make you feel a bit depressed, or do you feel like it's really a truth of life?
Yes, I think so. Because as the singer goes, action is louder than the words, and you have to do your own and see what can happen. You cannot just sit down and say nothing. There's no competition. You have to compete and see what can happen.
Yep. All right. Thank you, Philip. I just noticed your question there, Ken. The reason why is written in italics is because it needs to be emphasized.
Okay.
Thank you for reminding me. Often when you're reading, I don't know if this happens in your languages, but definitely in an English book, if they want you to read a particular word with emphasis, then they might put it in italics, so it should read life is a competition, as opposed to not being a competition, okay?
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, so my final question for rule number 1 is, if, Anna, you can read some more later, okay, there's plenty to go around. If life is a competition, which I think probably is hard to deny because there are so many examples, does that mean that we should think that it's fair because we're expecting it to be a competition? Because that's what the author is arguing for here. Or do you guys still think it's unfair, even though it's a competition? It's still unfair. What's your perspective on that? Anybody?
I think competition exists. Even if the teacher said life isn't a competition, school grades students, so it's a competition. What unfair is sometimes starting point is different up to the family or where you are living, or such kind of thing is unfair.
Okay, so yes, I agree with what you're saying there, Ken. Maybe you're starting at different points. However, do you think it's fair that some people are born better at some things than others? Ksenia, what were you going to say?
I think about this first rule, yes, it's very difficult to follow this rule because people don't want to live in stress when they think that you should win the other students or pupils, or they just win in job. It's very stressful to think about it every day. I think it's more easy to live in a wonderful world with sun and birds and nothing to do, just live. That's why it's very difficult, yes.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, thank you, Ksenia. Let's go on to rule number 2. So Mustafa, could you read rule number 2, please?
Rule number 2: you are judged by what you do, not what you think.
Okay, so this is exactly what I think it was Philip who was just saying this before. Philip, could you read out what the cartoon says, please?
Yes, I'm a professional potato sculptor. You are impressed? I can tell.
Okay, we're going to find out the meaning of this now. So just hold your breath for a second, guys. Okay, Mustafa, society.
Okay. Society judges people by what they can do for others. Can you save children from a burning house, or move a tumor, or make a room of tumor, or make a room of stranger laugh? You have got value right there. Continue.
Mm-hmm.
That's not okay. That's not how we judge ourselves, though. We judge ourselves by our thoughts. I'm a good person. I'm ambitious. I'm better than this. These idle impulses may comfort us at night, but they are not how the world sees us. They are not even how we see other people.
Thank you, Mustafa. This word here is comfort. Comfort.
Comfort.
Great. All right, we'll carry on reading. And Philip, could you read from well-meaning?
Okay. Well-meaning intentions don't matter. An internal sense of honor and love and duty count for squat. What exactly can you and have you done for the world? Abilities are not prized by their virtue. Whatever admiration society awards us comes from the selfish perspectives of others. A hard-working janitor is less rewarded by society than a road-left stockbroker. A cancer researcher is rewarded less than a supermodel. Why? Because those abilities are rarer and impact more people who like to think that society rewards those who do the best work like so.
Thank you, Philip. This one here is pronounced rarer. Rarer.
Rarer.
Yeah,
Rarer.
more rare. Yeah, less common, basically.
Okay.
Thank you, both of you, for your reading. First of all, any questions about what Mustafa read?
Remove trauma. You said I don't know the meaning of this word, teacher.
Tumor. What's a tumor? Anybody know?
Like a cancer.
Cancer.
Yeah. It doesn't actually have to be a cancer. A tumor is just a growth. It could be cancerous or it could be not cancerous. But yes, it's a growth in your body of cells. Any other questions? No? Okay, what about what Philip read? Anything in here? What does it mean when something counts for squat? Anyone know?
Squat, it's physical activities.
Yes.
No?
Literally, to squat is like when you bend your knees and balance on your toes. So you're like sitting on top of your feet, sort of. But actually, in this case, Ksenia, it's not squatting exactly. If something counts for squat, it means it counts for nothing. It's totally irrelevant and unimportant. It doesn't count at all. Okay? All right, we're going to keep reading until we finish this point, and then we're going to talk about it. So, Chi, could you please read out the this little table, the little titles?
Okay, how we think reward works. It's a quality of things done. Might continue?
Yes, all of the things in here, so we
Okay.
can just see the table.
It's writing a terrible song, we got a lower reward, and writing the best song ever, it's a high reward.
Brilliant. Thank you, Chi. Well explained. So basically, we think that if you write a terrible song, the quality is awful and the reward is nothing. And if you write a brilliant song, the quality is excellent and the reward is huge. But in actual fact, is that true? Chi, could you continue reading?
Okay, but in reality, social reward is just a network effect. Reward comes down mostly to the number of people you impact.
Thank you. Could you read this one for us too?
Okay. So how reward actually works? It's if you write a song that one person hears, it's a lower reward and lower people impacted. But if you write a song that a billion people hear, it's a high reward and higher people impacted.
Thank you, Chi. And could you finish reading to the end, please?
Okay. Write an unpublished book, you are nobody. Write Harry Potter and the world wants to know you. Save life, you are a small town hero. But cure cancer and you are a legend. Unfortunately, the same rule applies to all talents, even unsavory ones. Get naked for one person and you might just make them smile. Get naked for 50 million people and you might just be Kim Kardashian. Sorry. You may hate this. It may make you sick. Reality doesn't care. You are judged by what you have the ability to do and the volume of people you can impact. If you don't accept this, then the judgment of the world will seem very unfair indeed.
Thank you, Chi. Well done. This word here, just it's a bit of a funny one, I know, but it's pronounced naked. Naked.
Naked.
Yeah. Well done, and well done for interpreting those graphs, because that was a bit tricky. Okay, any questions from anybody, firstly? No? Okay, in that case, Jose, what do you think this rule number 2 is all about?
Yes, I think rule number 2 talk about the society choose you about the ability to do things, about the results, about the volume people that can you impact, not about what do you think or something like that.
Absolutely, yeah. Thanks, Jose. Okay, so what do you guys think about this? First of all, is it true? Do you agree with it? Mustafa, what do you think?
I agree. I agree with it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the society. Nowadays we see this threat. Like, I agree with this situation, or I apply to respond to this. What's saying right now? It's my thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think what it's saying really is that your success or your outward success or how you're judged by the public is measured in this way, and I don't think we can really disagree with that because it's just a fact of life. But does that actually mean that you're not very valuable if you write a song that nobody hears, or if you only do things that impact your local community or your family? Does that make you a less important person? Anna, what do you think?
Oh, teacher, you are not less important at all, but you are less important for the world. If you pass away, more people will miss you if you are famous.
Maybe, Anna, yeah. So this is kind of a funny one. How do you think this relates to fairness? Does anyone want to have a go at interpreting the link between fairness and rule number 2?
Well, may I?
Yes, of course.
In my opinion, it's unfair because sometimes people give value to people who don't deserve to be famous because they are not talented at all.
Mhm.
And some talented people don't have a chance, and those people just look it out for some reason.
Mhm. Absolutely. Good point. Do you think being famous is actually that great, though? Is there anyone in this room who wishes they were famous?
I think, kind of, how can I say, for example, Van Gogh couldn't sell any picture in his life, but after that, his brother promoted him with
Mhm.
pamphlet. On the pamphlet, his dramatic life was written. So that appealed to people. So we need some dramatic drama on the song, or reflect some dramatic drama uh, to the song or picture. Many famous artists promote themselves like that. They
Mhm.
need story, or they need high-end people. If the people many people began to listen to watching that picture, they became famous. So that's a kind of entertainment world or art world.
Yeah. So I think, yes, it makes a really good point that sometimes there are a lot of genius people around, but because they don't have good promotion or they just don't get that lucky break, nobody ever hears about them, or perhaps only when they're dead, like Van Gogh. Thank you, Ken. All right, Anna, could you read the title of rule number 3 for us, please?
Thank you. Maybe life is fair, teacher.
I'm doing my best, Anna.
All right. Rule number 3. Our idea of fairness is self-interest.
Okay, keep going. We'll read the first couple of paragraphs.
Thank you. People like to invent moral authority. It's why we have referees in sports games and judges in courtrooms. We have an innate sense of right and wrong, and we expect the world to comply. Our parents tell us this. Our teachers teach us this. Be a good boy and have some candy. But the reality is indifferent. You studied hard, but you failed the exam. You worked hard, but you didn't get promoted. You love her, but she won't return your calls. Oh, this paragraph is so true, teacher.
Thank you, Anna. This word here is pronounced referees.
Thank you. Referees.
Yeah. Ken, could you read this cartoon?
Okay. I've sent her 1,000 photos of my junk. Why won't she love me?
Okay. Thank you. Would anyone else like to read?
Okay, I can do it.
Thank you, Mustafa.
The problem isn't that life is unfair, it is your broken idea of fairness. Take a proper look at that person you fancy but didn't fancy you back. That's a complete person, a person with years of experience being someone completely different to you. A real person who interacts with hundreds or thousands of other people every year. A competition?
Mm-hmm.
Now what are the odds that among all that, You are automatically their first pick or love of their life, because what you exist because you feel something for them that might matter to you, but their decision is not about you.
Great, thank you, Mustafa. So you can see there's a lot of italics in here, just to clarify the meaning, because it's a little bit confusing. So because what? You exist because you feel something for them? That might matter to you, but their decision is not about you. Okay? Great, Mustafa. Anyone else want to carry on from similarly?
I can.
Thank you, Ksenia.
Similarly, we love to hate our bosses and parents and politicians. Their judgments are unfair and stupid, because they don't agree with me. And they should, because I am unquestionably the greatest authority of everything ever in the world. It's true, there are some truly awful authority figures, but they're not all evil. Self-serving monsters trying to line their own pockets and swallow your mystery. Most are just trying to do their best under different circumstances to your own.
Thank you, Ksenia. This one here is savor. Savor.
Savor.
Your misery, not your mystery, your misery.
Misery.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, and savor. We have this word but without you. It's American?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this is British spelling. But yeah, it's the same word. So what does savor your misery mean? Does anyone know?
Yes, it's just masochist. I don't know how to say. Yes, you very
Yeah.
how to say, you are very bad, poor, and you like it to think that you are very poor, and so.
Yes, exactly. You enjoy other people's bad sadness or sorrow. Yeah.
Yes.
Very good. Thank you, Ksenia. Last couple of paragraphs. Who would like to read?
I can do.
May I? Oops.
Okay.
First.
Yeah. So Philip, you go for it. Maybe.
Okay. Maybe they know things you don't like. Say your company will go, but if you don't do something unpopular, maybe they have different priorities to you. Like say long-term growth over short-term happiness. But however, the market you feel the actions of others are not some cosmic judgment on your being. They are just a byproduct of being alive.
Thank you, Philip. Okay, we haven't finished this rule yet, but we're just going to pause for a second. Has anyone got any questions about any of the words or the general idea of this number 3? No questions? All right, Mustafa, what is number 3? What's it saying?
Number 3, basically, it's saying like if we do something, if we do like a job or we do a work, we expect the other people, like the people who receive that job, or the people who we are did this job for them, we expect like positive view from them or positive response. But this is not almost like happening. We have to be like we accept that not maybe people not always people will reply to you like positively or give you the idea or something like that. This may be the general idea.
Yeah, thank you, Mustafa. So I suppose this point is quite interesting, because what it's really saying is that we don't actually think something's fair unless it's of benefit to us, right? Do you think that's true? Ken, do you think that's true?
Yeah, I think so. We tend to think fair, by a self-centered perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever received a big positive bonus in their life instead of somebody else and gone, oh, life is so unfair? Maybe you got the best grade in your class, or maybe you won a prize Did you complain that life was not fair at that point? Probably not. You probably only complain about it when you feel that you've had something negative. I'm not assuming that, but I'm just guessing. It could be true. Okay, let's continue. So, Anna, would you like to carry on for us? Why life isn't fair?
Yes, thank you. Why life isn't fair? Our idea of fairness isn't actually obtainable. It is really just a cloak. What does it mean?
Cloak.
For wishful thinking. I wish I were like them.
Yeah. What's a cloak before we carry on?
I have no idea.
It's cover.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a cover. A cover, something that you put around your shoulders in cold weather, which doesn't have sleeves, but it's used as a metaphor a lot for something that covers something else up, okay? Keep going, Anna.
Thank you. Can you imagine how insane life would be if it actually was fair to everyone? No one could fancy anyone who wasn't the love of their life, for fear of breaking a heart. Companies would only fail if everyone who worked for them was evil. Relationships would only end when both partners died simultaneously. Raindrops would only fall on bad people. Most of us get so hung up on how we think the world should work that we can see how it does. But facing that reality must just be the key to unlocking your understanding of the world, and with it all of your potential.
Thank you, Anna. Okay, any questions about the words in this last bit from here?
Yeah, teacher. Most of us get so hung up. What's hung up?
What does it mean to get hung up on something? Does anyone know? It's like a good kind of informal
There is
phrasal verb.
a lyric from Madonna.
Okay.
But I'm not sure. Maybe to turn off or something like that. No?
Actually, no. It's to get hung up on something means that you can't forget about it. You keep focusing on it. You can't leave it alone. You keep thinking about it all the time. Okay? So if you get hung up on somebody you like, somebody you fancy, or you wish they were your boyfriend or girlfriend, it means you just think about it all the time. You can't let it go. So she's, or he, I think it's a she, maybe it's a he, Oliver. He gets hung up. He says that if we keep thinking about how the world should work, if we can't let that go, then we don't see how it actually does work. Any other questions? No? Okay, Chi, what do you think about this paragraph here? Just the explanation of why basically life is not fair. The author gives these examples of things that are fair or would possibly be fair in a hypothetical world. What do you think about it? Does it make you laugh? Does it make you think, oh, that's not really fair anyway? What's your interpretation?
I don't know how to say.
Have a go. I know it's quite a complicated topic, but see if you can simplify it.
Sorry.
No? Do you think that these examples that the author gives are examples of true fairness? Do you think that you know, it's fair if both partners in a relationship die at the same time, or it's fair if raindrops only fall on bad people. Do you think those things would be
No,
fair?
no, it's really not the truth.
Okay, why not? Why do you think it's not, those things are not a good example of fairness?
Like a relationship, maybe they will end when one side can't get a benefit from the another side. The relationship will be end.
Okay, interesting. Yeah.
Mm,
What about raindrops?
raindrops. It's a nature. It can be controlled by people, so it's not the real thing.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Okay, it brings up another interesting point, because I think that the idea of fairness has a lot to do with our personal opinions about things. Do you think
Yeah.
fairness is objective, or is it totally subjective? Anyone like to answer?
I think it's of course subjective because we're one of the person in the whole planet. So it's only our point of view. As I read Mustafa, he thinks that this article insane, but I think it's a brilliant article, and I honestly agree with each word in this article. I think yes, it's so we're just a person. We shouldn't be selfish. We shouldn't be selfish because the planet doesn't turn around us. We're just one of the most of many people. So we are nothing obviously for the planet. We're just parasites who live and spoil our planet. I think nowadays. Very bad.
Celia. I must admit, it does sometimes feel like that we don't care, that we just go and do our own thing and complain all the time. So you agree with the author. Very interesting. Mustafa, do you want to respond to what Ksenia just said?
I don't know. I haven't said that. I haven't said like the life has been saying actually. This the author what he wrote in this article, and I kind of agree with you. Who said I don't agree? The life we have to be realistic and accept the life as it's happening because each one of us like I agree with Ken at Akan or Khan because he said like each one we grow from different points or from different situations. But the life can become unfair when you are working really hard and some other people like take your position or and they are without any talents like what Anna said. That's what I want to say.
Okay, so that I suppose is related to that point about competition, right? And
Right.
I think the nature of competition is that it's not fair because it's a competition. Or maybe it is fair. You're all competing and there is a winner and a loser, but does it matter? I don't know. Ken, what do you think?
Yeah, I think to judge how can I say fairness could be subjective, but the system human established because of human is subjective, so a pretty subjective fair system exists in the world. So, but talking about my happiness, as I said, maybe focus on what I have more than I don't have. What I don't have, maybe in that such way I can get happiness because I'm just ordinary people, so I cannot change system or and our world, Earth itself, is kind of unfairness because human is the top and other animals below human or such kind of pyramid. So we are like a parasite of the earth, to be honest. So yeah.
All right, thank you, Ken. Does anyone else want to say anything before we finish up?
If you don't mind, I will say since the beginning of this class, I've changed my mind.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see now that fairness is subjective because when if you are lucky enough you cannot, you won't agree that you are that life is unfair.
Mm-hmm.
If you are, if they don't give you the real place you deserve, you'll start crying. That all is fair, unfair.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you, Philip. Well, that's quite cool that you've changed your mind over the course of the class. So the author's done a great job with their article, but I must admit, when I read this at first, I thought, oh, what a load of rubbish, and when I got to the end, I thought, oh, actually, there's a lot of truth in that article. So I'm glad that it was challenging to you, everybody. I think really the key thing to remember is actually your attitude can affect everything that you do. So whether you feel upset about something being unfair or whether you just accept it and still be happy, it's kind of up to you. So it's quite an empowering article from that point of view. Thanks all of you very much for attending. If you want to practice your writing, then come along and join me in the next hour. Go and get a drink or something in the 3 minutes we have between class. But if not, I hope to see you all again soon. Take care. Have a good evening, morning, or afternoon.
Thank you very
Bye,
much.
guys.
Bye, take care.
Thank you.